It started from the very beginning. Started at zero. I actually had no invitations. When I was 19 years old, I actually invited myself and marketed myself, not knowing anything about marketing. Hey, can I please come to your school to talk about never giving up? No. And I had to hang up the phone. What am I going to do with the no? I'm going to be like, oh man, I failed, that was hard, oh that hurt. No, I picked up the phone 30 seconds later and I called another person. I said, hey guys, I talk about bullying and never giving up and self-esteem. Can I come and share at your school my story and my steps of success? And they said, no thank you, and I hung up the phone. Guess what? I called another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. I called 52 schools and they all said no. What if I gave up? Maybe I would never have been a speaker. And now being a speaker that opened up the doors to speak to millions of people around the world, seeing their lives being transformed with this message that's filled with love and hope and truth. Guys, it's got to start small. That's where we all start. And it's okay to fail, because that's how you keep on going. The steps of failure are on the path of success. Every failure brings you closer to your success, guys. That 53rd phone call was a yes. And I'm like, yeah, baby, yeah, I'm going to be a speaker. And guess what? Another school heard about me speak at that school, and they called me. And they said, are you a speaker? I said, uh-huh. She said, do you talk about bullying? I said, uh-huh. She said, can you come to our school? I said, uh-huh. And I spoke at that school. And another school heard about me. And another school heard about me. And another school heard about me. When you're a person who has that value and positivity in your life, and you have understood that failure is part of your path of success, that's when you realize you can smile. No matter what success you have right now, you can smile because you're on that path. As long as you keep on taking those steps and embracing that failure, you'll never lose. So here are the choices I want you to take away today. I want you to make a conscious decision every day of your life to say, first of all, it's okay to fail. Okay, so I'm not defined by how many times I failed. Are you with me? Choice number 2, that when you actually fall down and you fail, to get back up. If I fall down, if I try 100 times to get up and I fail 100 times, am I a failure? Yes or no? No. But I will try again and again and again. And every time I try to get up and I fail, now I know a better way in how to try and get up. Not every dream comes true, and I understand that. But for as long as your heart has that passion and burning desire to keep on going along with that, great. Remember, your success doesn't determine your identity or your value. But no matter what you set out to achieve, do it with all of your heart, mind, soul, and strength. And man, I tell you, when you fall down and you decide to get back up, you are on a great, great path of success and a life without limits. The third choice I want you to make here and right now is really important. It's to learn to believe in yourself. When people don't believe in you, it's hard. Guess what? My parents didn't believe that I'd ever be a speaker. My parents thought I was in La La Land. But I stuck to my guns and I followed my heart. They told me to finish my university degree as a backup plan. And if I still want to go to be a speaker, to then try. But man, I tell you, I graduated at 21 and went straight into speaking because that's what I knew that I knew that I knew I was born to do. When you know that you know that you know for what your purpose is and what life you want to live and what goals you have been born to achieve, that's when you become unstoppable. And the greatest success stories have always come out of the greatest brokenness and challenges. The stories of victory and triumph came from sometimes the people who felt the most broken. So give yourself a chance. Believe in yourself. Embrace failure and know that failure is important to your success. And you'll become unstoppable.
Wonderful. So, failure is good or bad? Good. So, is it okay to fail? Yes. Wonderful. So, it's okay to fail so far as you get back up and you don't repeat the same mistakes. So, if you're going to repeat the same mistakes, then you're not getting anywhere. What you need to do is you need to learn from your mistakes, get back up and do it in a different way so that you move forward. And listen to your heart always. Don't get bogged down by what others think about you, by what others tell you. If you have got confidence in your heart that you can work hard and pursue your passion and become successful, nobody has got the power to stop you. You are unstoppable. Anybody heard about Abraham Lincoln? Okay. So he was the 16th president of the United States of America, and many know him as a successful president for freeing the slaves. US had been inflicted with slavery, and he was instrumental in getting United States rid from the slavery. But before he was the president, he failed, and he failed a lot. He lost 8 elections, and he lost in business. He also overcame other challenges like the death of his fiancée and suffering from a nervous breakdown. He had every reason to give up, but he didn't. He got back up. Imagine if after 6 failures in elections, if he thought of not standing for the next time, would we have even known Abraham Lincoln? Or the 7th time? Or even the 8th time? But he gave a 9th try, and then he won in the election. And that's what brought him. And it's just not about being the president. The entire life was a mess. He overcome all those challenges. Next. Michael Jordan, raise your hands. Who all have heard about Michael Jordan? I'm not surprised. We'll guess next. So the greatest basketballer of all times. Who all want to become basketballers here? Wonderful. Wonderful. So Michael Jordan, the greatest basketballer of all time, and yet when he was in high school, he failed to make it to the basketball team. Are you aware about that? When he was in school, he never got into the basketball team. And what made the loss even more devastating was that his friend made it to the team. So again, we compare, right? My friend got it and I didn't get in. He was so devastated, not because obviously he had felt bad that he didn't get into the team, but all the more that his friend got in, but he didn't get in. But he then responded to his failure by forward progress. He used the failure as a motivator to work harder. It eventually led to success in college and the NBA, and he understood that he failed, but he was not a failure. And in his own words, this is his own words, I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I have lost almost 300 games. On 26 occasions, I have been entrusted to take the game-winning shot, and I missed. I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Because he was passionate about it. Because he knew in the bottom of his heart that he can be the greatest basketballer of all times. So even if the world did not recognize him, the school did not recognize him, the friends didn't recognize him, nobody else encouraged, he himself worked hard for it. So that's what you need to do. Take failure as a stepping stone. Anybody heard about J.K. Rowling? So all of you have read Harry Potter books? Okay, wonderful. So you know about J.K. Rowling, the history. She has been through tremendous trauma and a difficult time. Shh. Can we have silence at the back, please? Okay, J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series, she got the idea of writing this book while on a train from London to Manchester. She kept on with that idea. She was not able to really write the book. She moved to Portugal, started as a school teacher. She married a person there. The marriage didn't turn out well. She got divorced. and with a dependent child, she returned to Glasgow and started living with a sister. And financially, she was really in a very dire strait. She was living with a sister, and then they applied for government welfare so that she could get some money to survive. So that's the kind of life she has lived before she came to fame. She didn't have even money to pay for her monthly utility, electricity, water bills as well. So, but she, deep down in her heart, she was confident that she can become a good author, and the concept that she's having of Harry Potter is going to be loved by the children. So she went out to publisher after publisher after publisher, and 12 publishing houses rejected her work. But what if she had stopped at 12? Or what if she had stopped at 10? Or what if she had stopped at 11? Or any number lower than that? Would any of us have got to read the Harry Potter books? No. So she tried the 13th time, and we all know, rest is history. So failure is so important to success. You need to just keep on pushing hard. If you are passionate about it, if you know in your heart you can do it, you can do it. Next. Albert Einstein. No introductions needed. Yeah, all of us study science, right? Albert Einstein didn't speak until he was 4 years old. He didn't read until he was 7 years old. And he failed his university entrance exam at 17. His teachers believed that he won't amount to much, but he believed in himself. And it's so important. You may succeed if no one else believes in you, but you will never succeed if you don't believe in you. You have to have belief in yourself, in your capabilities, in your talents, in your gifts that you've been bestowed upon. Next, please. Oprah Winfrey. You've heard about Oprah Winfrey? Probably most famous TV personality ever. And she was fired from her first job as a news anchor and was told that she wasn't fit for television. See the paradox, right? She was fired because she wasn't fit for television, and she's probably the most famous TV personality who everybody knows today. And people long to get into her show to be interviewed. Walt Disney. How many of you have been to Disneyland? How many of you have read Disney comics, Disney movies you've watched? Right. So everybody knows about Disney. This is the man. This is the man who brought all Disney things to us, whether it is a Disneyland, whether it is Disney movies, whether it is Disney comics, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, whatever. This is the man who brought it to us, and he was fired from his job because people said he lacked creativity. Probably the most creative person on earth to bring such a creative concept. But he was fired from his job that he lacked creativity. He formed his animation company, he raised money for that, went bankrupt, then did some other businesses. He found his way to Hollywood and started this concept of Disneyland. I think, I'm not sure, but about 75 times he was rejected by bankers and financiers, because when he went with his proposal to set up the first Disneyland, he was rejected by the bankers that this is a foolish concept, nothing is going to work. 75 times he was turned down. 76th time he got the money, and rest is history. Our very own Nick Vujicic, born with no arms and legs. His own parents didn't believe, and they said that you do a college degree because we are not sure whether you'll become a speaker. So if you want to be successful, you must be willing to fail, and you must be intent on learning from those failures. So has your perception about failure changed today or not? Are you okay to fail now? Yeah? You're okay to fail so far as you're learning from it. That's what is important. Make a note of it. Failing is, don't be afraid of failure. So far as you're learning from your failures, you are heading in the right direction. So we have a small crossword here, just to test whether people are understanding what I'm saying. So 1 across, it's okay to press 1. Everyone fails, but no one, sorry? Like. So like will not fit here. So we've got like 6 characters, 2 across. It's okay, everyone fails, but no one. Enjoys. So no one enjoys failing. Number 3, Dash's parents didn't believe that he would be a motivational speaker. Okay, Nick. Fail is just your first attempt in dash. Sorry? Anything else? Learning. Somebody said learning? Yes. You may succeed if no one believes in you, but you will dash succeed if you don't believe in you. Never. You can choose to dash up or get up. Give up. Okay. So, no, we I think went wrong. Okay, didn't read until he was 7 years old. Einstein. Now the down ones, you can choose to dash up or get up. Give up. Dash was cut from his high school basketball team. Okay. You must dash in you in order to succeed. Okay. Dash lost 8 elections and failed at his business. Lincoln. Okay, so wonderful people. Okay, next. Okay, so we'll talk about the kind connection now. Again, I'll show you a brief video and then we'll go into the teaching.
Hey guys, it's Nick here, and I want to talk about the kind connection. All right? Guys, I want you to know how important it really is to connect with people. Obviously, you know, the biggest thing is, you know, Facebook, Twitter, subtweets, Instagram, you know, all these other vehicles that we quote unquote connect, but actually we never connect. I'll tell you right now what sometimes I, by habit, do. I actually sometimes take my phone to my dining table when we're sitting down to eat at home. You know what my wife does? She grabs that phone and she puts it on the highest shelf that I can't reach. Why? Because it's time to connect. You know, I'll tell you right now, me in my home, as my 2 boys grow up, if they're in my house, they ain't texting me. They're gonna come to me, look me in the eye, and talk to me. Body language is so important to me. You know, when I talk to people, I look them in the eye. You know, when you're at like a cashier register and the person's looking down and beep, 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 you're on your phone. You know what I do? I always, everyone say always? Always make time for the 3-second attempt to just see if they're going to connect with me, at least to look me in the eye. Eye contact is so important. You know what? Let me give you an example. How you doing? Yeah, I'm all right. Oh yeah, did you see that? Yeah. You're not even connecting. No. How are you? How are you doing? Hey, did you hear about? You can do any conversation. It's just, it's so much better when you connect. That cashier, I don't even know if that person maybe was told by their father or their mother something very bad, or she witnessed some abuse at home that's maybe verbal abuse, or she's thinking, man, no one really even notices me. You know, I wonder if I should just disappear. And then a stranger says, hi, how you doing? I like your earrings. I like your hair. I don't even care if you make a little lie and exaggeration about how much you like her hair or not. I don't care. Look at her, look at that guy, and give them some sort of compliment. How you doing today? Talk about something, connect, that they see that someone actually recognizes their presence. When someone is recognized with their presence, it's acknowledgement. When someone feels acknowledged, they feel loved. I've never come across anybody who doesn't want to feel loved. That is the kind connection. Not only that, but even in your talks with people and how you talk to people, you know, it's very easy to spread gossip, isn't it? Oh, look at that. Did you just hear so-and-so? Oh, what happened now? Oh, did you just? Nah, I don't gossip. I don't play that game. Why? Because I don't know what harmful things that person's thinking in their mind. They may, put on a brave face and a brave smile when the negativity and the bullying and the gossip's coming. But man, I can only imagine what they think when they're all alone, staring at the ceiling while they're lying in bed and they can't go to sleep. I can only imagine how many students every single morning actually feel like throwing up because they don't want to go to school because they don't know what's going to be said next. With all this anonymous subtweeting and bullying, I want to tell you right now, 40% of the reason why teenagers think of attempted suicide in their life is because of bullying. Man, have you ever wanted to save a life? Why? Have you ever wanted to feed someone hungry around the world? You don't even know their name. Are you going to help them? Why? Because they have value, and what we have, we can give a little bit of what we have to change their world. Well, you ain't going to change a stranger's world until you want to change the people around you. You won't change the world until you want to be a world changer. And when you are a world changer, the people in your world see that you're different. How are you different? What is the real you? When you go from school, lunch, to class, to home, to hanging out with friends, to then on the cyber world, are you true to you? Is there something about you now that you're going to maybe do different? Good. Establish the kind connection every single day. Choose to be that person. Why? Because a person who did have the kind connection within them changed my life. Let me tell you, I was at school one day and I had about 12 people, count them all on my fingers, 12 people who teased me. And the third person didn't know that I was already teased twice. And the 10th person didn't know that I was already teased 9 times. 12 people teased me. Man, I was done. I was through. I was low in energy. I was angry. I was bitter. And I said to myself, you know what? If only one person teases me, one more, I'm done. I'm going to disappear. That's when I started getting so negative and depressed. And one person who came across my path helped me to get out of that prison that day, in that mind prison, by one gentle gesture. At the end of the school day, I got in my wheelchair and I was going to the front of the school, hoping no one would see me. And across the playground, I heard someone say, "Hey, Ned!" And I'm like, oh man, here it is. Someone's going to put me down again. She came right up to me, looked me right in the eye, and she said, "Hey, Nick, I just want you to know you're looking good today." And I'm like, oh, I couldn't believe it. Man, she could have said anything. I didn't expect that. It changed me. Like, oh, one person believes in me. Yeah, sure, my mom and dad believe in me and encourage me because I'm their son. They're my mom, they're my dad. But a stranger at a school, a student who I'm not really friends with, man, that's cool. When one person believes in you, that's when you start to believe in you too. I believe in you, friends. I love you so much. Don't listen to the world. Find the real you. And if you don't like the real you and you want to put in some kind connection today, I tell you right now, you can't ever, ever put enough kindness in every word, in every communicative opportunity you have with friends, with teachers, with adults, with strangers. And actually, when you do this, I haven't found anyone who thinks that that has actually taken them back a couple steps in their success. The kindness connection only propels you forward. And when you allow the kind connection to be part of your DNA, that helps you in your job, that helps you in your goals, that helps you in your careers. And I'll tell you right now, the biggest successful people in my life that I know always have the kind connection. Because that kindness also builds trust. Trust you can't do without. The biggest things in life that I've ever done has always been with people. And without trust, you can't do anything together. Kind connections in your relationships help you in every way, shape, and form. So here are the choices with the kind connection that I want you to make today. Choice number one, to uplift others instead of putting them down. Look, I'm not asking you to be friends with everyone. That's impossible. But don't be an enemy to anyone. Think of ways that you can encourage somebody, especially when people get out, you know, in that athletic sport, little group activity, and they feel like a loser. Go up to them and say, hey, good job, you know, or better luck next time. Just little seeds that you have no idea what can happen and what can grow within them. You don't know what fires are being put out by those kind words. That's choice number one in the kind connection. You know, when you add value to others, it adds value to you. Make the choice to have that kind connection in understanding that it's not like, you know, well, I'm just going to give and then you better give back to me. No, it's adding the value of who you are in being established as a known person to have kindness. I mean, it sounds ridiculously simple, but it's absolutely powerful. You build up these friendships around you that they know that they can count on you. You know you're not going to judge them. You know that you're going to be there for them. You're going to be a listening ear. I tell you, man, not only does it add value to their life, but now you also build up friendships that you can depend on as well. It goes both ways. And every successful person that I know knows about the kind connection and uses it every day. And that's part of the third choice. Be intentional to use that positivity of the kind connection every single day. Don't take any day and opportunity for granted. Live today like it is your last day, and not just selfishly. Plant those seeds of love and faith and hope and encouragement, because you don't know whose life you're going to change next. Guys, establish that beautiful DNA of the kind connection in everything you do, and you'll see success coming right at you.
So small gestures can make a lot of difference. Sorry. Politeness can go a long way in building connection with people. If you have jealousy, if you have feelings of anger, if you've got feelings of hatred, that's what you're going to pass on to others. You will give what you have, right? We can only give what we have. So why should we give hatred, jealousy, and anger to others? If we can be polite, if we can be kind. These symbols, anybody seen them ever? Okay, what are these? The first one on the left? Facebook. How many of you are on Facebook? Okay. The next one? That's more popular, I believe. Okay. The next one? Anybody on Twitter? Lesser, but still. This one, I don't know what is it. Okay. So we spend a lot of time on these social. Shh, can we have silence at the back, please? Anybody who has to discuss anything can go out, please. Okay. So these social platforms have become a part and parcel of our daily lives these days. We can't really imagine our lives without Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp is also there. I mean, I didn't intend to list all of them. There are quite a few. But life has become so different with these social media platforms. We've got now thousands and thousands of friends. We've got hundreds of connections on each social media platform. But are we really friends, or are those connections real? We do send friend requests, make comments on the likes, or do the like on the post, but are we really connected to these people? That is what is important. And also, on these social media posts, when we connect, talk, text, like and comment, Are we doing it in the right way? We should always think, are we hurting anybody's sentiments? Are we being polite? Are we damaging the reputation of the other person by putting in a comment? That comment will be seen by 100 other people or 500 other of that person's friends. So we have to be very responsible when we are using social media. Social media doesn't mean that we can write anything, we can do anything. There are millions of people who might get to see your posts. You have to be very careful. You have to be polite to people. You have to maintain that kind connection, right? Connecting is about compassion and kindness without expectations. These are small, small gestures. Sometimes we are in the lift, there are 4 people standing, all of them are on the phone. We don't take a time to smile at the other person. These small things can go a long way in building connections which might, you never know when you might need those connections. So it is so important to connect in the right way. Use your keyboard strength responsibly. As I said, don't hurt others with your comments. Don't write comments which can damage the credibility of the other person. Your comment, 500 people will see. Don't damage the other person's credibility. You have got power with your keyboard. With the social media, we all have got power with the keyboard to reach out to millions of people at the same time. But use it responsibly. Don't do anything which is not right. Again, right and wrong, you know what is right, you know what is wrong. Focus on non-virtual connections, as I said, in the elevator or whenever you get an opportunity. Talk to people, smile at people, be polite to people. That will go a long way in building long-term connections, which would be much stronger than the connections you would probably make on Facebook. So choose kindness, lift others up. Strong people are not about pushing down others. Strong people are those who elevate others, who develop others, who help others, who add value to others. So that is what strength is. Lift others, add value to others. And in doing so, you will add value to yourselves. Yeah? Be kind every day. It's not about, okay, today I'm kind, but the next 29 days in the month, I'll be angry. Make it a part of life. Be kind every day. Even the smallest acts of kindness and encouragement can multiply in the lives of others, snowballing into something bigger than we could ever imagine. You never know, your smile, your brief hello to a person might change the day for that person. Maybe that person came from home and he is upset with something and you smile at him, ask something politely. Maybe his entire attitude to the day changes. You never even know you've added value to that person. So take every opportunity to add value to others. Next. So what does strength look like to you? When we talk about strength, we always think of powerful people, strong people, right? Am I right or wrong? Yeah. Anybody else has a different image about strength? Yes, yes.
Being kind is what shows you your actual strength, your potential to develop, to become a good leader. And that's what I think strength is. It's like how can you grow, like how much you can utilize yourself to, utilize your strength to become a better person. And that's what I think is strength.
Wonderful. You wanted to say something? Okay. Yes. So what does strength look like to you?
See, so strength is like, it's not about the physical strength, there is even mental strength. Like we can be kind of positive approach towards everything, like not being negative. Because see, physical strength is available, but mental strength is one which makes a person approach towards and overcome his fears and lead to success. That's what I would define strength.
Very good. Yes, so very rightly said, strength is not about just physical strength. Strength is about our inner strength, about our values, about our capability to resist temptation. Now, if you see on the slide, there are certain symbols which I believe all of you relate to, right? You understand all of these three symbols, right? So these are all temptations which might bring temporary excitement and satisfaction to you, right? Each one of you understand, very important, these three symbols, each one of you know, they bring temporary satisfaction, temporary excitement, temporary comfort. Saying no to these temptations demonstrates your strength. You may be a weak person from your body, but if you are strong enough to resist these temptations, you are really a strong person, right? You can, and you can only say no when you are true to yourself and your values. If you really understand what is right and wrong, because these things you'll get tempted, your friends will come to you, your other known people will come to you, why not, let's have one cigarette, let's have one drink, nothing happens. But this is the beginning. You have to be responsible. Ultimately, it is your life and you have to take responsibility for it. Your friend is not responsible for your life, how you do in your life, whether you succeed or you fail. It is for yourself. If you have to succeed, you have to take responsibility of your life, and these temptations are to be resisted. Make tough choices rather than succumbing to negative influences. I'm not saying your friends are not good, not bad. I mean, you've chosen your friends, but there is always a dilemma, always a moment that you have to think about what I'm doing is right or wrong. Whether my friend, maybe he's otherwise very good, but if he's forcing me to do something which is not right, you have to take that call. You have to resist that temptation. You have to show that strength, right? So the choices we make are, number one, you are not defined by what other people think of you. We've repeated it, but just to reinforce the message, I'm repeating it again. You're not defined by what other people think of you. Number two, your limitations, your situation, your environment does not define your success. If you see successful people in life, probably they have come from the most difficult environments and most difficult circumstances. But despite that, they have succeeded. So the environment doesn't matter, it's all inside you. You must be your true self. So if you are your true self, if you think good about you, the environment doesn't matter. Maybe all your friends are smoking, all your friends are drinking, doesn't matter. If you have decided for yourself to say no,